Hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for ScubaRadio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling your radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that ScubaRadio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for ScubaRadio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, well, it's like, are you ready to go down?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Think so.
It is Super Bowl weekend.
I need to go in some warm, salty water fast.
Well, we're going to talk about that. What is the Super Bowl dive site in the world? I mean, I think it's only appropriate we discuss that. What are the top 2 dive sites in the world that you should put head-to-head in a competition as far as, like, where you would want to go dive? You think that's an appropriate topic to discuss today?
It could be. It sounds like it's not going to be executed, but yeah.
Well, there'll be, like, penalties.
The way you set it up was
flags.
really... Yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
Nothing. Just, okay.
I'm willing to share mine right out of the box.
I don't have any.
And then if anybody copies me, well, then they'll be copycats.
I'd have to, I didn't have time to do any research, so.
Well, you know the places you'd like to go
I have
dive.
areas, but I don't have, like, the actual names of the sites.
Well, I mean, you don't have to get as specific. You don't have to say, like, the actual dive site per se if you don't want to.
You said sites.
Well, all right. What I was really saying is, like, what would be the Super Bowl dive destination?
Okay,
maybe?
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'll give you that much. You want to share? Do you have one?
Now, these are ones that I've already been to, or ones I want to go to?
No, the top of the hill, the Mount Everest of diving, the Super Bowl champion.
I know what I think
diving
would be awesome, but if I haven't been, then how do I know?
Well, you've heard other people, you've heard me talk about different places. Where would you think would be, what would you think would make the, Super Bowl champion of the dive sites around the world?
Two off the top of my head.
2 of them. Okay, go.
I thought you said there has to be 2.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be the champion and then the runner-up, whoever loses. No. Are you going to
write these down, or is it going to be brackets? How are we doing this?
Yeah.
Playoffs?
No, we're not going to go that far.
You're just going to try to remember them all?
Well, I'm just going to remember number 1. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say Galapagos.
Okay.
The Galapagos Islands, Darwin Wolf, that whole thing.
I would have said that,
washing
except
machine
the
dive
fact
site.
that you told me it's cold.
Well, it is
that's
on
a negative for me.
It is a little bit on the chilly side, for sure. And this is a subjective decision because different dive sites appeal to different people.
I would say I have Bimini,
yeah,
which I've still yet to, which is silly because we're pretty close.
Right, that is ridiculous.
Bimini and probably Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Go West Coast.
Yeah, you want to go to Hawaii?
Yeah. So
all right, and
those are mine.
But you haven't been to either one.
Right. You said it didn't matter.
Well, it doesn't. But why did you pick those 2 places? Just because you want to go?
I hear they're awesome.
Well, they are. So, like in Bimini, what is it? The Hammerhead dives?
Yeah.
Because we're in Hammerhead season right now?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That
and then
more.
Hawaii, you picked that. Why?
It seems amazing.
You want to run around in a grass skirt during your surface interval or something?
Yeah, that's it.
You got the coconut shells, the whole thing?
Yes.
Well, that could happen in Fiji, too, You don't have to limit yourself
to
Hawaii.
Fiji and Hawaii could be...
You want to be a hula girl. That's what it is.
Wow. Couldn't be more wrong, my friend.
Okay. All right. Anyway, now you have at least mine and CJ's thought on the Super Bowl of dive sites. ScubaRadio Scuba Squad is connected via the web. That's Vinny Two Tanks, Jerry the Diver Guy at the moment. We may have more joining us as the show progresses, and we'll get their thoughts in just a bit. But before we do that, we got to go international. We got some special guests on the show today, and it has nothing to do with the political unrest in that part of the world going on right now, but we are connected to Poland, believe it or not. And I believe we have the inventor of the folding fin.
Oh, you were just talking about those.
Yeah. So, I think I spoke to his son, Jacob. But who do we have here, Jerry? Who's connected with us from folding
Looks like Raphael.
Raphael, is that you, Raphael?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I'm from the team who was
Got
involved
it.
in it. So,
In the folding fin, right? Now,
Yes.
so what, Jacob that I spoke to this week, is that your son, or you just work with him as part of the team there in Poland that came up with this design for fins? Do you know, or no? He has a confused look on his face, which is pretty much the look we get from most guests.
Why did I agree to do this show?
Raphael, can you hear me? He's connected.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Very well.
All right, no problem. All right, so are you one of the inventors of the folding fin? You can check them out at foldingfin.com.
Yeah, so you have to. I have to first tell you, I'm the what you like very often in States.
Yeah.
The number or the employee number. I'm employee number 6 in this organization.
Okay,
So
all
I'm
right.
actually not the guy who built it and constructed.
Yeah.
So, but I have some knowledge, and I'm ready to share with you
Okay.
about it. In
All
any
right.
case, I can always ask my colleagues in my native language to support me if you ask me some
Well,
difficult one question.
no problem.
Let's
Here at
go.
Scuba Radio, we go right to the top and settle for number
Okay,
6.
great.
So, but that's all good. So the folding fin is a new design that we came across. You guys are getting ready to launch a big Kickstarter campaign, I know, to launch these fins to the recreational dive market. But they've been out a while, especially for military uses in the UK. Is that right, Raphael? Did I get that
Yeah,
right?
but military use was not the start. What was the stage of the development?
Yeah.
So everything started actually from the idea of the two guys. So they are the person number 1 and 2,
Okay.
and the diver and the guy who was really technology oriented. So they were the founders, the two guys who found out that okay, maybe this is the good idea to do something with it.
Yeah, I was talking to Jacob before we scheduled this interview. I knew that we were going to have a little bit of a language barrier, being that I'm guessing English isn't your first language, but we're used to that because we have Jerry the Diver Guy on every week, Raphael.
Whatever.
But regardless, so one of the folks that started this was an avid diver. And his dive buddy was kind of like an engineering guy. Is that what it was? And they went out there and said, hey, we could do a better job at creating some, travel-friendly fins that are lighter and easier to pack. Was that their kind of goal when they started this, 6-7 years ago, I think?
Yes, it was. The main idea was because they wanted to have it lighter and easy to carry.
Right.
Yes, and so that was then the basic idea, to make them better. And they just try it and test it in the what we call in Poland Baltic Sea with this 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes,
so
a little on the chilly
first
side.
test.
Yeah.
Yes.
You would consider the
and it
Baltic
worked.
Sea the Super Bowl of dive sites for you, I'm guessing, right? You going to go with that? You going to throw that in the ring? Or he's like laughing hysterically. That's a little on the chilly side.
The ring. Quit mixing your metaphors. That's
well,
boxing.
Okay. Well, rings, football, yeah. All right. Anyway, regardless, they came up with these fins that collapse. They're easier to pack, lighter, stronger, lighter, powerful, whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's what every diver's looking for, especially me as a traveling diver. Every pound counts, every ounce of space to try to, concise, pack your dive kit as concise as you possibly can, makes things traveling easier. So that's why it caught my eye.
And I mean, look at him. He can't lift that much.
True. Yeah. For
Septuagenarian.
Okay, that sounds good.
Maybe not yet.
Yeah, but smaller, lighter, and easier to pack is always a winner, I think. And we haven't seen a lot of innovation in the fin thing category for the dive industry, and since like the invention of split fins and that kind of thing, maybe.
I have a question for Raphael.
Yeah, go ahead, CJ.
Raphael, what is that red and white contraption behind you?
What is that?
Right, and this one?
Yeah, what is that?
Looks important.
Yeah, it looks like high-end equipment. Yeah, other side, other left.
This one.
Yeah.
That's the laser. That's the laser.
It's wow, you called it.
Cool.
So you use a laser to you attach that to the head of sharks in the Baltic Sea.
Yeah, that sharks could be quite difficult to find in the sea, but okay.
Okay, well, okay, they might be too difficult.
Sorry, he's a moron.
No, I watch movies, and you knew exactly which movie I was talking about. Don't you lie. You're supposed to back me up as my dive buddy. Damn you, CJ. All right, more about the folding fins, and we got some other special guests we're going to chat with, too, on today's big show. Stick around.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Conventional underwater scooters can be heavy, unwieldy, and underpowered. At just over 8 pounds and with speeds of up to 7 miles per hour, the Scuba Jet Pro dive scooter is a game changer and fits in your dive bag. The Scuba Jet Pro uses an eco-friendly jet engine with impeller technology. With adapters, it can even power paddleboards, canoes, kayaks, and all kinds of water sports equipment. It's the most versatile scooter you'll ever own. Learn more and get the Scuba Jet Pro at ScubaJet.com. That's ScubaJet.com.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new Scuba Radio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 Scuba Radio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New Scuba Radio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today. Or stay a loser.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive. Where are they going? Obviously skin diving.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. And, Super Bowl of dive sites. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. But we do want to talk more with Raphael because he's been nice enough to join us live from Poland, where they have created this new folding fin. And it's like, it's already, past 9 p.m. their time. So I appreciate you being on the show today. First off, Raphael, and then, when you watch the news, there's other things you got to prep for. There's a little unrest in your neck of the woods right now. You concerned about that, by the way, or you're like, screw it. We'll go diving. We can't hear any bombs or anything else going off around you. Is that true? Is that the case?
Yes, when the politics are on the stage, then it's better exactly what you said.
Exactly. Go diving, and you can totally ignore it and escape from all the craziness for sure. But yeah, let's focus on the folding fin. So the design is pretty unique. And like I said, it caught my eye a couple weeks ago. You guys are planning to launch these for the recreational industry with a Kickstarter campaign, I believe, at the end of February. Is that the plan? Do I get
Yes,
that right?
End of February, it's Kickstarted and also on our webpage as a pre-order on this foldingthings.com. So in both places, we want to start it and to convince the others that the innovation in this area is also possible.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we haven't had a lot of innovation in fin technology in some time in the last 25 years. I just haven't seen a whole lot. And this is something that's pretty unique. And I love it in the sense that, it's smaller, lighter, easier to travel with. I mean, what's not to love as a diver when you have something like that? As long as they work and they look like you put a lot of thought into them. And you were saying earlier that, it came out of a need of a dive instructor and his engineering buddy came up with the design and you guys launched that. And next thing you know, the military in the UK picked up a big portion, made a big order, and you've been servicing the military in that part of the world for some time. Do I have that correct? They've been working with you guys?
It was part of our business. And then, of course, we found out that the world is even bigger than the military, and we can go wider. And this is exactly the Kickstarter which is going on. That's why we go there.
So the diving that you have in your neck of the woods, are you a diver yourself too, Raphael? I assume you are, or no?
I swim, I snorkeling, I do the snorkeling, but diving, I try it, I did it.
Yeah.
So yes, sometimes, but I would not say that I'm a diver. That's absolutely wouldn't be
with the fins, you can snorkel with them just as easily as dive.
Yes, absolutely, and it works perfectly.
Yeah. So they collapse, and the membrane, the material is made of what? That kind of folds up. It looks like a flexible kind of. Is it plastic or a Kevlar or is it fabric or what exactly?
It's elastomers, if I correct. In English, so
elastic. Is that what I defer to our translator, Jerry the diver guy. Jerry,
I wouldn't say it's
like elastomers.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. My pronunciation is not the proper one.
Neither is his.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Exactly.
Okay, no problem. But it's some kind of flexible membrane.
Yes, very flexible. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and
like a rubbery membrane.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I digress, Raphael. I apologize so much. We're going to create an international incident. You know that, right, CJ?
Nah, we're all right.
Yeah. But so you guys are launching these on Kickstarter end of the month and on the website, foldingfins.com or foldingfin.com. You're going to plan, I think you guys are going to bring these to the DEMA show in Orlando in November.
Yes,
is that going to be?
Yeah.
Is that the plan for the first big diving event to kind of do the big unveiling, or will there be maybe other shows before that, or do we know yet?
We will be available earlier in Dubai in the beginning of March, and then in Orlando in November. Yes, that's the next stage for us.
So if you support the Kickstarter program or do a pre-order on the website foldingfin.com, the fins will ship when? What is the plan at the moment? Do we know? June. Okay.
That's our plan for starting shipments. Yes.
Yep. All right. Cool. Well, I think it's an innovative idea. I love the idea. You want to get in on this and be one of the first ones on the dive boat to have one of these new set of fins. Now you know how. Support their Kickstarter program, and obviously that whole effort helps fund your development or manufacturing. You already got the prototypes and everything ready to go. It's just a matter of setting up the production line, I guess. Is that the case there?
Yes, absolutely.
Raphael?
Production is on its way, and the prototypes are ready. I even have them in front of me to see it if I need it. So,
well, do you have them? Do you have a prototype sitting in front of you as we speak?
Yes.
All right, hold it up to the camera. There we go. Now, so you can see this on Facebook Live, Twitch, and YouTube. Oh, yeah, those are nice. Yeah. Okay. And so they literally fold together.
They fold a different way than I had in my
head. The foot pocket. There's like a they fold up tight on the fin blade part, but then also the foot pocket folds in half. Is that right?
So from 12 inches to 2 inches. As a wide.
Vinny's going, hey.
Just like cold water.
Well, I think you got the idea. Did you play the accordion when you were a young man? It reminds me of an accordion.
Yeah, that could have been inspiration. Yeah. But in a sense, what you're referring to shrinkage. It's like that was maybe inspiration for these folding fins.
It looks like an Oriental fan.
That's right.
But if you look at it though, I'm intrigued by it because I can already see more room in my dive bag.
Exactly.
My fins take up a ton of room.
Yeah, you would have room for Harry the Pumpkin in your dive kit if you had folding fins, Vinny, and you could take him along.
And even I would say that the feet, your size of the feet doesn't matter, so you can adjust it really easy.
Okay, all right. So
very cool.
Yeah, big feet. If you have big feet, you need big fins. Or
now they had that other company that was doing folding fins a while back, but I like this design better.
This looks like it put a lot of thought into this design for sure.
And he gives it 3 pumpkins.
Yeah, is that what it is? He rates it in pumpkins, does he?
I'm just guessing.
Or maybe just gourds or squash?
Pumpkins.
Just pumpkins. Okay. All right. Well, that's a pretty good testimonial then, Raphael. I'm sure you don't realize that, but that's a pretty big deal. To get 3 pumpkin rating is, that's way up there. So, we wish you the best with this effort, and thank you for educating us accordingly. Maybe we'll see you at one of these dive shows or at DEMA in person, and maybe get our hands on one of those. I'd like to get a set of those.
Those are cool.
Give them a try. And
so in any case, you can go on our website, foldingthings.com, and then support us and choose the first version, and then you can try it and you can use it and you will see how fantastic is the product. And
I love it. I think we will do just that. Foldingfins.com. Check them out and support their Kickstarter effort. Thank you so much, Raphael. That's pretty cool, all the way from Poland.
That is really cool.
And we got more coming up on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving, flying, and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving, flying, and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why I wanted to tell you about Nanook Professional Protective Cases. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook cases generally cost less than similar products currently on the market. From an iPhone to a full set of dive gear, whatever you need to shield from the elements, Nanook Professional Protective Cases has the size, shape, and color for you. Go to nanook.com. That's NANUK.com for Nanook Professional Protective Cases. The evolution of protection.
Need an escape from reality for a while? Your favorite scuba action star, Mike Scott, is back in an all-new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys: Reefs Under Pressure. From the brilliant mind of author Eric Douglas comes the thriller that started it all. Listen as Mike unravels the death of a girl, the protest of new development, and the systemic destruction of coral reefs, all against the stunning backdrop of Grand Cayman Island. This one's got it all: submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface. When he was ready and completely relaxed, he wrapped his arms through the straps of the seat cushion and gently slid into the water.
Dive back into adventure with Cayman Cowboys. Also available, Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish. Download all 5 audiobooks now at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, or audible.com.
People, let me tell you about a friend I know. Got the world's first scuba diving radio show. So now everywhere I am, and everywhere I go, the first thing that I tune to is Scuba Radio.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. We have the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad connected via the web. Vinny Two Tanks, Jerry the Diver Guy, even Casey the Tobacco Nut is with us. And to offset all that craziness and loony tune talent that we are sharing with you today, it is offsetted by somebody with a little bit of clout, someone who's really, taken hold of the dive industry and shaking things up a bit. His name is Dean Hollis. He's with us on Scuba Radio today. He's behind the man behind the magic of Dive Inventors. I think I'm saying it correctly. Am I, Dean? Is it Dive
Inventors? Yeah, but I don't know that I can take credit for all the great things you say.
Well, you're a better man than I then, because I would take credit for it.
Go ahead and take credit for it, because he won't give us any.
That's true. I mean, I look, you got to take everything you can get out of this stuff. But no, I mean, you guys are mover and shakers in the dive industry, doing something kind of new, in a sense, in that you already have 11 stores scattered across the U.S. dive centers, right?
Yes, sir. Up to 11.
How about that? And I've been hearing about this project or this effort for a while now. You guys been doing this, a couple years, or has it even been longer? How long?
It's been longer than that. I think we started in 2008.
Oh, wow. Okay. Where have I been? I guess maybe the acquisitions. You picked up quite a few stores in the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, that's right. In the last couple of years, I think we picked up 7 stores. So really growing aggressively since, COVID was pretty brutal for all of us, right?
Yeah.
In the dive industry, and not just the dive industry. And it was pretty rough financially for us, but it actually gave us a chance to sit back and kind of think about where we were going and how we were getting there. And then we really kind of blossomed after that.
All right.
It's been fun.
Well, we're going to talk with Dean a little bit more about this. Dive a little deeper on what it takes to run a dive center, among other things, next on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
I'm not actually the diver. I'm the pump man. I have a friend who does the diving.
Is your friend experienced?
Oh, he's been underwater half his life. He used to be a lifeguard in a car wash.
So dive, dive, dive when you're twisted up inside. Don't come up till you fill your cup or you make it to the other side. Dive, 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 let your conscience be your guide. Life's a mess and there's too much stress. You gotta take it all in stride. Just dive.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. That is the Scuba Cowboy. I caught up with him this week. He's gigging all over the place.
Good deal.
And look him up at thescubacowboy.com. Find out where he's going to be. The gigs are actually, because of COVID, it's changed everything, and he's not really planning his schedule that far out. So
he needs to come by us. He's never close to Orlando area.
Well, he's been
always
over
on the coast.
Yeah, over on the west coast of Florida. He's been over there quite a bit. I think actually he's back out west at the moment, but he's planning a run back here, and he talked about coming by. So we may make that happen. We will see. But his gig, his calendar is changing constantly. So, he's picking up gigs like, hey, they call him this week and he's playing there Friday night kind of thing.
Is Sweet Baby Lettuce still with him?
Sweet Baby Spinach. I believe there are some trop rock gigs still.
So it's like
together.
a duo, and he also does solo.
It's like the Captain and Tennille kind of thing tour. But I don't know how much that is going on. I don't know. He didn't say. So I assume he's still getting his leafy vegetables. So we'll leave it at that. All right. So, look, we have a special guest, Dean Hollis from Dive Inventors, is with us. Dive Inventors. It
looks like Dive Ventures.
It's Dive Ventures, Greg.
Put the two words
but
together.
There's dive, but there's an N there.
Dive Ventures. It's sharing the V.
Dive.
There you go.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. The end is throwing me when I look at it. That's a dyslexic
Greg,
thing.
he's a little help, but he'll get there.
Thing.
Listen, Greg, listen.
I'm a professional dive, or no, DJ. I'm supposed to be, right? Not so much.
One of these days.
Anyway, look them up online. There are some mover and shakers. You heard Dr. Doug Ebersole chimed in. He's joined us now.
He can say it.
Right? And he can say it how? How do you say it?
It's Inventors.
Inventors.
There you go.
There we go. Sure. And but diveventures.com, right? Okay.
Yes,
love
sir.
it. And actually, it was Dr. Doug that, I don't know, we were down at Bugfest in July having dinner, and he said, hey, I went on this dive trip to Dunbar Rock. You need to talk to these guys at Dive Ventures. Man, they're doing some pretty cool stuff, buying up dive stores across the country and kind of creating a network. But as Dean was telling me this week when I spoke to him before we set this interview up for the show today, that the idea is not to necessarily create this massive like franchise type of thing, right, Dean? You still want to maintain the kind of friendly hometown local dive shop feel type of deal with all the stores, or what?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We always want to be your local dive shop. And I think we can't lose that flavor, right? Because that's why when somebody comes in the store, diver comes in the store, any store, they just want to talk about diving. And we would just want to be able to share that passion. And we don't want to be the Walmart of the dive industry. We still want to have that local feel, and take advantage of a bunch of dive shops together and leverage that scale. But the customer, the diver, doesn't need to see that. They just need to walk in your local dive shop.
There you go. I love that attitude, because that is one of the appeals of going into your local dive center, wherever you happen to be, and striking up a conversation on what you love to do, which is go dive. And when you go into, some of those other franchise type places or big box store type of approaches, it does kind of get lost a little bit in that sense. But you're going to try to maintain, or you guys are doing that. You're maintaining that element of the dive store, so you still feel connected locally with the local diving community, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And every acquisition we made, the owners are still with us. We want them to stay with us. Don Peterson was the first acquisition we made, I think, in 2010.
Yeah.
And Don still teaches college classes. He still comes in the store, hangs out, teaches the young bucks and what diving is all about. And Wyatt and Beverly Foster and Sea Ventures and Dwayne and Mary and Columbia and Travis and Levon and Lexington, Kentucky, and Rick Sass and his wife Kim and Battle Creek. And that's what we want. We want them staying around, because that's why people learn to dive. They come in and they don't dive because of the name on the building. They dive because of the people in the building.
Yeah. Well, I get it. And, that's what Dr. Doug said to me and CJ a few months ago. He was telling us about the groups that you guys were running, like to Dunbar Rock, and he got to interface with you guys, and he just got a really good feeling that, hey, these guys are real divers. They like having fun. They just love diving, and you kind of turned your passion into your profession. Is that how it kind of evolved for you personally, or what?
Yeah, that's exactly right. In fact, Doug and I are both from Lakeland, another one of these small world stories, and Doug's daughter works for us, and she's a rock star, and so it's all about connections, and so that's how it started for me. I grew up in Florida and always loved the water, was on it, in it, under it, and worked in corporate America for a long time, and was able to retire early and connect my passion with the purpose. And that's what we've done. It's just got a lot of great people that have tremendous amount of passion. And as we say, we want to use our passion and power of the water to impact lives and change the world and have fun doing it.
I love it. So am I getting it right that you're kind of helping these dive stores that may have that passion behind them, but maybe don't have as much of the business savvy that they need to kind of, make things, connect and make it feasible from a business standpoint? Is that kind of what you're doing with some of these stores, and like giving them a little bit more backbone in that regard so they can operate and still have that passion that they started their, particular dive store with, or what?
Yeah, Greg, you're exactly right. And every acquisition we've done, that's what it is. You think about how people get in the dive industry, right? They love to dive. Mm-hmm. They have a passion for diving.
Right.
And they teach their friends, they teach their family how to dive. Then somebody says, "Oh, you ought to open up a dive shop," and they do. And maybe they have resources, maybe not. Maybe they've got business experience, maybe not. But as we all know, you try to run a dive shop and run it by yourself, and you got to work retail hours, which are brutal.
Right.
You got to teach people how to dive. You got to do service. you got to lead trips, and you just get burned out. And you go, oh my gosh, and you get, and then plus you got to pay bills. You got to deal with vendors and do all the stuff behind the house that the customer never sees, and they just get burned out. Or they do like Don and all the people we acquire, they love it. Then after 30 years, they're saying, okay, well, now I want a little bit of time to retire. And that's where we come in, right? And we take all the work and we centralize that. And that's what Doug's daughter's doing for us. She's doing all the back of the house, right? All the accounting and all the working with vendors and all the working with the travel destinations. And let somebody do that so the people in the store get back to why they got into diving in the first place.
Right. They can focus on the fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
Right. I love it. I mean, it seems like so commonsensical. I mean, it really does to me. I mean, you can apply that to almost any business, but everybody goes through that type of challenge. And do you think that is the biggest challenge for dive shops, individual mom and pop places across the country? Just that maybe lack of business, not necessarily savvy, but just like you said, they get burnt out on it, or, it's like, oh, this is too much work. I don't want to do this anymore. What is the biggest challenge for dive stores across the country now? What do you think?
Well, I don't know if that's the biggest challenge. That's probably the biggest headache. And then you get into it and say, this isn't what I wanted to do, right? I just wanted to teach people how to dive and take them on trips.
Right.
And I don't want to sit here and negotiate with vendors and talk about what my buying level is, and work with trying to deal during COVID, right? And trying to deal with, well, I got customers that backed out because they had COVID, and we take care of all that, right?
Yeah.
And our kind of cloud, if you will, gives us better leverage and gives us better relationships with all of our vendors to be able to take care of all that. So the people in the store can go back to what they love doing, and that's just taking care of the customer.
Yeah. Well, and who wins there? Well, the customer does. You have a better experience, when you go into that dive store. They're happier. Customers are happier. I mean, this looks like a win-win-win to me. I mean, and what's weird about it to me, it does seem like common sense, but we've had a lack of it. For some time in the industry when it comes to the dive centers. I mean, this isn't like a new problem. This is something that's been going on for some time, and it's kind of refreshing to see someone jump in and kind of take the approach you're taking there, Dean. So
it's a nice new answer to it, because I remember when I had my shop, you got so overwhelmed that thinking of all the things he's taking care of was just more stuff.
Right. He was like, I don't got time for that. I want to go have fun. I want to go play and go dive. More coming up.
Would you like to talk diving? Greg the Dive Master's all toweled down and ready to take your call now. Call Scuba Radio at 1-888-88-SCUBA.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
I would like to extend to you an invitation to the party.
We're gonna have some fun without a dive. At the party, Scuba party. Now don't stay behind, don't get left out. At the party, Scuba party. Now the Scuba party is here and he's here to stay. At the party, Scuba party. If you want some fun, that's the only way. At the party, Scuba party. We're gonna dive in and swim all about, move around just like the top. Now at the party, a big, big party.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We're dancing like a trout. It just goes with the territory. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. Is that a trout you're doing, really? You're shaking like a trout.
First of all,
Flipping
I wasn't
all
dancing
about.
at all. And I don't know.
It
how
looked
you came
more
up
like
with
a spasm to me,
Trout?
actually. Yeah. You're dancing all about just like the trout.
Oh, okay, because it rhymes.
Yeah.
Cute. You're cute.
Yeah. It's what they do.
Hey, you know what? They can't all be winners. Keep swinging.
Okay. All right. It really did look like some kind of seizure, though, I will say. So you're going to need to work on that. Don't Dancing with the Stars isn't going to be calling anytime soon, CJ. Just saying.
I mean, people can see that it wasn't actually.
Yeah, they might have blocked it out, as they should.
Maybe I was dancing behind the black curtain.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't see.
Right. Yeah, people were watching us on YouTube, Facebook Live and Twitch, and we apologized in advance, so I think we're covered.
If I would have known that you wanted me to do that, I would have busted some moves.
No.
That's okay.
Don't even threaten such nonsense. Yes.
Yeah, stop that.
Okay.
Well, he's talking about it.
Yeah, when the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad is getting on you about that, you've crossed a line, my friend.
Don't talk about it if you don't want to see it.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought he looked a little cod.
I don't even know what that means.
Just let it die.
Yeah. Dean Hollis from DiveVentures.com with us. They have a network of dive stores across the country, and I think a pretty good philosophy, pretty good model that ideally, I guess, you're still in expansion mode, right, Dean? You plan to really expand, as much as you can, or is there a limit, or what can you tell us without having to kill us first, or something like that?
No, we have no limit. We figure wherever there's a need, we want to be.
Okay.
Right? And we got 11 now, and again, I think we acquired 7 this year, and I think the internal goal is we'd like to get 10 more this year. I think 22 and 22 would be a pretty neat number, but
nice goal. Yeah, I like it.
That's a lot. I'd love to be able to do it, but we're an interested buyer, but you got to have interested sellers on the other side. So.
Well, of course, yeah. You gotta get out there and network, find out what's going on in different markets. And what's interesting, you grew up, you said, in Florida. You're a Florida guy like Dr. Doug and myself, right?
That's right.
But the first store was Lincoln, Nebraska. Is that right?
Omaha.
Omaha.
Yeah.
Lincoln, Omaha.
That's Lincoln's just down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, which is probably not the first location people would think for a dive shop. But
when we opened, we talked about building this, big facility, and one of the nicest dive shops in the world. People were going in Omaha, Nebraska, saying, "Yep, it's about as far from the water as you can get." Since I couldn't be to the water, I decided to bring the water to me.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this on Scuba Radio in the past. It's interesting in the 25 years of doing this show. When we first started, we thought, well, yeah, okay, Scuba Radio play in Florida, coastal cities like, California, Texas, maybe if we're lucky up in the East Coast there or something. But the fact of the matter is, next thing you know, radio stations were picking up the show in Alaska, Omaha, in all these landlocked places. And the only thing I could put together from after I spoke with some of them is like, hey, look, when we hear Scuba Radio, it's kind of like an escape to, do what we love to do, which is dive. And when we want to go dive, we just head to the local quarry, or better yet, we hop on a plane and fly to the Caribbean or Pacific someplace. So they travel a lot. They're very dedicated people, because you got to jump through a few more hoops when you're landlocked like that to participate in your favorite activity. Are you with me on that, Dean?
Absolutely. We're going to do 100 group trips this year in 22. It's amazing.
Wow.
And we'll do probably 40 plus private trips. So, travel's a big part of our business and business model, and that's great because that's what divers want to do. They want to go diving. Yeah, and you're doing this yourself too because you're an avid diver. You go out on some of these trips. Well, evidently you do, because that's where Dr. Doug said he went diving with you at Dunbar Rock down there in off Guanaja in Honduras, right? No, I'd love to be on all 100 of those trips, but that match just doesn't work. But absolutely, in fact, as we were talking about, we got I think 20 something people going to Grand Turk today, and we got 40 people going next Saturday. So I'll be on that group next week. But absolutely,
I love
to go
that.
diving.
Yeah, well, he's doing what he loves to do, kind of like what we do, right? It makes a lot of sense. And since it is Super Bowl weekend, you heard me at the beginning of the show. I said my Super Bowl dive site is the Galapagos. Would you back me up on that, or you have one you'd like to throw into the mix, Dean? What do you think?
I don't know. Since Doug's on here, I would probably put Black Rock Canyon, since you mentioned Dunbar Rock. I'd probably put Black Rock Canyon up there as one of my favorites.
And that's off of Dunbar Rock. That's one of their famous dive sites, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's one called the Cathedral, and you go in, and if you've ever been to the baths down off of, in the BVI.
Yeah, Tortola.
And when the light comes shining in, I mean, it's a spiritual experience. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
I might have to revise my Super Bowl dive site. I don't know. That sounds pretty. I haven't been there. I've seen videos, pictures, and heard stories. Kind of like what you were saying. It's places you want to go that you haven't been able to do just yet. So we'll get a little deeper into the Super Bowl of dive sites in hour 2. Maybe talk to Dr. Doug a little bit more and the rest of the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad. Stick around, just getting started on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling your radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea. under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to Hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. We are, we're video simulcasting on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. We're going to continue to do so. Matter of fact, I just made a minor investment into a new streaming system. So in a couple weeks, we're going to, not only will you be able to see, get a glimpse behind the curtain of what it looks like here to do Scuba Radio every week, you're going to see us in possibly higher definition, higher quality. Yeah. So you thought it was a train wreck.
We're going to need hair and makeup. Well,
train wreck in HD. How about that? Something like that. I don't know. It might get better, might get worse. I don't know.
Can't get worse.
You don't think?
Jerry will have to get the bald spot on top of his head dusted.
Okay. Well, we have that. I think we'd be better off going on with like encouraging masks for the entire Scuba Radio Scuba Squad. You think?
Nope,
No. That'll get Barry with his Greg mask going.
Oh, that's right. His Greg on the stick. He's not here today because I had enough of him doing that because
very good.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, hey, you're not allowed back for 2 weeks because that is totally wrong, and we don't appreciate that kind of nonsense.
Look, cancel that guy too.
Ah, Vinny Two Tanks, how dare you? I forgot. Yeah, where's Harry? Where Vinny Two Tanks? We were talking about Harry the Pumpkin earlier.
He's in the freezer.
He's in the freezer. He's being cryogenically preserved.
Why does it not surprise me that Vinny has heads in the freezer?
That's more information than we probably should know.
Vinny's pumpkin has to chill out. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, just when the authorities call. Now we have to admit that we know a little bit more than we should.
He keeps bodies in the freezer.
Okay.
Just the
That's
heads.
enough. Exactly.
Like Walt Disney.
Oh, boy. All right. Anyway, we do have Dr. Doug Ebersole and Dean Hollis with us as well. Dean is the proprietor. Or what's the official title, Dean? Grand Poobah?
I don't know. I think I'm a tank slinger.
Tank slinger for Dive Ventures. I don't think that's accurate.
Look, if you own a dive shop, you're going to be a tank slinger no matter what.
Well, maybe, but he's kind of
Is it slepper? Don't we slep tanks?
Yeah, I think that works.
You sling the first couple, and then after that, it's all downhill.
Yeah.
You start slumping.
Well, you need a more official title like Grand Poobah or, something a little bit more, precedent sending. Just a little bit more, I've kind of adopted a dive master, even though technically I'm a dive instructor, but of course.
Not very imaginative.
Yeah. Oh, you're not a fan? What should I go by then? What would I
don't know.
What would a gear schlepper?
Greg the Dipstick.
Okay. I don't want to open up that can of worms.
Just my vote. I'm only one vote.
Yeah. All right. So dive sites that count as the Super Bowl of dive sites. I mentioned the Galapagos. Dean pointed out, what was it? Black Rock Wall?
Black Rock
Canyon off of Dunbar Rock, which is near Guanaja, right? Is it off the island of Guanaja in Honduras? Is that right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Guanaja, you can see Roatan in the distance from Guanaja. So.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, near Roatan.
Okay, that gives me some perspective.
Right. I've heard about this place for years. It's kind of like a liveaboard dive trip on an island.
On a rock.
On a rock.
On a rock.
I've seen plenty of videos, pictures, dive industry friends raving about the place. One of these days, we'll have to go see that for ourselves. But, I put the Galapagos, on my list for Super Bowl of dive sites, and you could pick a bunch of them, but probably the one I'd as far as the actual dive site, was one they called the Washing Machine, which was a drift dive, and you just go with the crazy currents in the Galapagos and grab hold of a pinnacle sticking up out of the sand out of God knows how deep, and it's like a volcanic type of rock. So they say, okay, drift along, and then about halfway through the dive, I'll signal to the group, and when you see the pinnacle, grab onto it and don't let go. Because if you let go, we'll see you, when we see you. Because you're going to lose us. And so our group managed to grab hold. But as soon as you grab hold, all of a sudden you realize how strong the current is actually going. Upwards, downwards, sideways. It's nuts. And they call it the washing machine experience in the Galapagos. It's pretty intense. Have you done anything like that, Dean? Have you done that dive or been to the Galapagos yourself or no?
I haven't. It is on my list. I would say the closest I've come to that maybe in Cocos.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember if it's Cocos or Guadalupe. We were tagging great whites for research in Guadalupe, and then tagging hammerheads in Cocos, and the same sort of thing. You go down, and they say, "Hold on, or else
the currents are going to get you.
We won't see you." So
yeah, the Alcyon is the classic place in Cocos. It's just got ripping current.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there's these washing machine type dives all around the world. I mean, I think there's actually some in Cozumel, maybe even too. As well.
Superman's flight. We did that. Doug and I did that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy that type of experience, So, but the Galapagos is on my list. I kind of want to go back because, as CJ alluded to earlier, the only negative to going to that place, I don't know, it's probably been about at least 15 years since I've been there. Was that it was cold for me, being a warm water Florida diver and dealing with water temps in the 60s. If I go back, it's dry suit diving for me. I'm taking a dry suit, and I'll take all the ribbing I get from the crew and everyone else on the boat. Say, "What are you wearing a dry suit, you wuss?"
Actually, when we were there, the dive masters were wearing dry suits.
Yeah.
So it was they were smart. They knew it's like you do 3 dives a day in that water. You need something warmer.
Exactly. Yeah. The dive guide on our boat, the time I went, they were wearing semi-dry, which is, I guess, the top half is kind of dry, and then it's kind of a combo wetsuit, dry suit thing, Dr.
Doug?
Doug?
Really tight seals and kind of usually have something covering you around your head, around your shoulders and stuff. But
Right.
So it doesn't let too much water in, but it's technically a wetsuit.
Yeah. So, but I'm going full dry if I go back, or I should say when I go back to experience the Super Bowl of dive sites. So that's on my list. What do you think, Dr. Doug? Do you have one that you would consider other than Dunbar Rock or Galapagos or what?
Personally, as far as just beauty and so forth, I'd have to say there's a place called Magic Mountain, which is in Raja Ampat, which is one of the famous dive sites in Raja Ampat, where you have mantas and turtles and wobbegong sharks and there's no spot on the reef that's not alive. I mean, you can't put your finger anywhere because there's such biodiversity that everything's competing to have some sort of site. So just all of the colorful fish and the colorful corals and the nudibranchs and the sharks and the wobbegongs and
that's warm water kind of too, isn't it? It's not cold.
Water,
yeah. So Raja Ampat, which would be outwards towards Tahiti?
Indonesia.
No, it's actually way east in Indonesia, almost to Papua New Guinea. It took us 71 hours to get there. So
Okay.
that's why it's
Just
that's why
a
it's so
hop,
pretty, 'cause
skip, and a
it's hard
jump.
to get there.
And time travel, and you're there.
Weeks worth of travel.
Yeah, I mean, but that does sound like the best of both worlds right there, for sure. I mean, all the critters and very colorful and that kind of thing too. So it kind of blew you away. Just everywhere you looked, you saw something new.
And I would go with Dean as well. The Cocos is amazing as well. Just the schools of hammerheads, like you'd see in Galapagos, but the water's warmer.
Yeah.
And then with Costa Rica, just like you can do the land-based stuff in Galapagos, you can go land-based. You can go tag on a little land-based tour afterwards and see all the cool stuff that Costa Rica has to offer. So that's a great place.
All the dinosaurs.
What's that?
All the dinosaurs?
Oh, from Jurassic Park? Yeah.
No Jurassic Park, but
there's reality, and then there's
tree frogs and butterfly gardens and hot springs and volcanoes and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool.
I think I apologized for Jerry at the beginning, didn't I?
Doesn't matter.
Actually, the island is there where they filmed the movie.
Right.
Okay, Vinny. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys just dug that hole deeper. But yeah. There's a fine line between reality and crazy.
Yeah, usually it's little kids.
We walk it,
believe that,
or
like
swim around
7
it
and
quite
younger.
a bit. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that would be kind of cool. It'd be a nice little surface interval thing, like, hey, let's go do the Jurassic Park tour and see if we get eaten. No? No. Okay. More coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Conventional underwater scooters can be heavy, unwieldy, and underpowered. At just over 8 pounds and with speeds of up to 7 miles per hour, the Scuba Jet Pro dive scooter is a game changer and fits in your dive bag. The Scuba Jet Pro uses an eco-friendly jet engine with impeller technology. With adapters, it can even power paddleboards, canoes, kayaks, and all kinds of water sports equipment. It's the most versatile scooter you'll ever own. Learn more and get the Scuba Jet Pro at ScubaJet.com. That's ScubaJet.com.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You are now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Here comes old Greg. He's a scaly manfish.
He's Greg the Dive Master.
What you doing in my waters?
The show is a disaster.
I got something to show you.
He's Greg the Dive Master.
Hi there.
Master. Dive Master. Dive Master. Dive Master.
I'm old Greg. Pleased to meet you.
I'm Nart. Hello, fishies.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. And then connected via the web, we have the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad, Vinny Two Tanks, Jerry the Diver Guy, Casey the Tobacco Nut, and also some normal people like Dr. Doug Ebersole and from DiveVentures.com, Dean Hollis with us as well. So we feel honored, and we have a little balance.
It's always good.
To counter the craziness of our typical group of misfits.
We don't have Barry here today, so we're on best behavior.
Well, okay, if you say so. Jerry might be missing Barry.
No.
It is Valentine's Day week, so...
It's peaceful.
And maybe he's out planning a special, get-together for, what is it, Tuesday, right, CJ?
Monday.
Oh, it's Monday. Oh, that explains it.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, Greg.
Get ready, Barry. All right, should you maybe get ready, Jerry? Because Barry's probably preparing a very romantic evening.
Stop.
Barry,
say his name,
Greg.
Say his name 3 times, he'll be here.
Oh, is that what it is?
Barry's married, by the way. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I just said. He's planning a nice romantic Valentine's Day thing. That's why he's not here.
Okay.
What do you think?
I thought you were leading to something.
He'll have his wife help him paint.
Oh, you thought I was you thought I was talking about Jerry and Barry?
Yes.
No.
You were.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but no, that's
Greg, you just keep stoking that fire.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Actually, I really missed the banter between them.
Do you?
You're the only one.
I don't.
That I don't know. That sounded like nervous energy to me.
Did.
Is that what you call it? Banter?
All right.
It's called flirting.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. We really want to go down that road.
I wasn't going there. I wasn't going
Stop it with the foreplay. Okay, moving on. Vinny Two Tanks, do you have a Super Bowl of dive sites or even a place, like a destination that you'd put right at the top of your dive list? What is it?
I would say Indonesia, but that's already been called. But I'd also like the Philippines.
Okay, and why?
I just like the cultures there. Besides the diving.
Yeah.
And,
so the diving's great, but the topside activities, the culture in the Philippines, pique your interest.
Well, you different places offer. There's a whole bunch of things you use. The infrastructure.
Yeah.
Is that where they eat crickets?
Ah.
Or Thailand. I was going to say that was my next one. Thailand.
Thailand, where they do the beetle nut. Is that where they do the beetle?
That's where they eat bugs. Yeah. They eat
bugs. Bug eaters.
Yeah, Palau and Yap are the beetle nut.
Okay, Palau. There you go. So that's not Thailand, or is it?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing? Thailand? No, I don't know. Okay, it's totally different. But the beetle nut thing, you chew up this. This is a seed, and it makes your mouth all red like blood, and you spit it out all over the sidewalk. Sounds delicious.
By the way, Dean,
I
the
know.
next time we're together, remind me to show you the video of Carol eating beetle nut.
Oh yeah, she did that. Your better half did that.
It's all filmed with commentary from one of our friends.
Yeah. Okay.
And all the locations I'm recommending are 80, 80, 80.
Yeah, so she'll like that.
Yes.
Thank you, Vinny.
80, at least 80 feet of
Neil taught us that one.
80 degree temperature and 80.
80 degree water temperature, 80 degree air temperature, and 80 degree visibility. And if you're lucky, you can get a fourth 80 if you get lucky.
We're counting.
What's
we're
the fourth
counting
80?
Visibility in degrees now.
Yes. Yeah, it's a dive god metering system.
Indonesia and Philippines are four.
What?
What did I say before? There's
480s.
There are 480.
What's the
places.
fourth 80, Vinny? Or is it like for off-air commentary?
It's to your. We covered this before. You guys should know.
Okay.
So in other words, it's off air.
It's off air.
It's a Barry comment.
Well, Neil told a story one time, and he said 80, 80, 80, and he explained that to us. And one time he said, well, and if you're lucky, you might get an extra 80. And then he explained.
I don't remember that part.
I don't either. I'm totally lost, Vinny.
May I suggest we drop that down?
I'm thinking we should, but now I'm intrigued, and I don't feel.
Do you know?
You meant it. You'd have a companionship with a female.
And it costs you $80. Is that what you're saying, or what?
No, she weighs 80.
It's a dangerous slope.
Again, I mentioned it.
Yes. Okay.
Malnourished date.
But 80, you know what 80 means. So
you told us to be good for your guests, Greg.
Well, I did. I warned them. Dean. I should tell you, I warned the ScubaRadio Scuba Squad to be on their best behavior because we had a special guest on the show this week.
This is as good as it gets.
Exactly.
And the scary thing is, this is as good as it gets.
Oh my God!
And you kept prodding me, so.
Yeah. Okay.
No one's prodding
Like
anybody.
I said, he keeps stoking the fire.
All right. Well, look, what are you going to do? It's Valentine's week. It's Super Bowl week. You got to
be rooting for Cincinnati, right? You're from Cincinnati.
I grew up in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Are you gonna have some of that Skyline chili tomorrow? You gonna make some?
No.
I'm making chili. I'm just not putting it on spaghetti.
Is that a euphemism for?
No, it's just I'm making chili.
Okay. All right. You're really making chili.
I'm making chili, but I'm not putting it on spaghetti. That's ridiculous.
No.
You don't want to make Cincinnati chili.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it on pasta.
Well, you don't have to
I
have
like
it
on anything.
You don't have to have it on pasta.
That's how you guys do it in Cincinnati.
Well,
you can
have
that.
You can have a three-way. Exactly.
That's what, a hot dog?
No, a three-way is spaghetti, chili, and cheese. That's a three-way.
I just said I'm not going to have it on pasta.
Well, no, but you don't have to have it that way. You don't have to have a three-way. You're probably not a big fan of the three-way.
No.
You just like...
I had it that one time you took us somewhere.
You like to keep it clean and just have a single, like just the chili, a bowl of chili. You can do that.
Yeah.
Or chili and cheese.
Yeah, I don't need the carbs.
All right, you can do that.
Okay, I thought you had to do it that way.
No, that's just the Cincinnati chili is the actual type of chili. It's more of a runny, not really chunky.
More rat
kind of
meat
thing.
than
Yes,
ground
yes,
beef.
rat meat, exactly.
Various possums, whatever is
Whatever you can
available. Whatever
trap.
roadkill you can
Whatever ends up
find.
in the trap out back.
Exactly.
And there goes our Ohio
It's a-
fan base.
Well, no.
All three of them.
No, it's tasty stuff. But yeah, I'll be rooting for the
I will
Bengals.
admit
I will.
that it is good.
Yeah, the last time the Bengals ran the
Skyline, Gold Star.
yeah,
They're all good.
It is. But I will tell you, the last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl was when I was living in Cincinnati, like 20 years
and they
ago.
didn't win.
They didn't win it, but it was the best Super Bowl of all time. The 49ers and the Bengals, last
Greg,
seconds
if you
of the
want
game.
some Cincinnati chili, I have a can from 5 years ago, and Kathy and I went to Kentucky.
Well, that stuff lasts forever. So definitely ship it on with some cigars from the tobacco nut. I'll look forward to that. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo with a buddy or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Let me tell you about a friend I know. He's got the world's first scuba diving radio show. So now everywhere I am, and everywhere I go, the first thing that I tune to is Scuba Radio.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. Vinny Two Tanks, Jerry the Diver Guy, Casey the Tobacco Nut with his can of Cincinnati chili, and maybe even a cigar or two, is connected via the web too as part of the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad. And then we got Dr. Doug Ebersole, who's going to be, he's on call when Casey keels over after eating too much chili and smoking too many cigars.
No. Never the twain shall meet.
Never the what?
The twain shall meet.
Mark Twain?
I don't. Yeah, I'm lost. What do you mean?
Well, you know what happens if that happens, right?
What, if you keel over?
No, if the twain meet, you'll have a twain weck.
Oh, God. Kill me
I thought
now.
that was Shakespeare.
That's a lifetime ban, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
drunk?
He's Dr. Doug Ebersole on call to, well, I always thought it was like for medical issues, but now I'm starting to think we need to bring on a psychiatrist. Nope. Well,
that's years.
Oh, we can.
That's years
we
of
can
therapy.
confuse the hell out of a psychiatrist.
You don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Look at it this way. When we're all down diving, you can't hear any of this nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, look
Ain't
at it
that
as
the truth?
the cup is
When
half
are we
full.
all going to go down diving?
Well,
Yeah, speaking of.
what about you, Casey? What's your Super Bowl of dive sites?
As a Super Bowl, I'd have to put 3 together: Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao.
Oh, the ABCs of the Antilles. Yeah.
I've dove a little bit on each of them, but they all still offer so much. I really want to go back.
Okay. So, so he is a fan of the 3-way. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Bonaire.
Yeah. They're all good. Those, actually, I haven't dove Aruba, believe it or not. That's the more, touristy island of the 3. But I bet the diving around there is pretty good, too. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Radio.
Hi, this show is what? This show is This show is Scuba Radio. Hi, this show is what? This show is This show is Scuba Radio. Hi, this show is what? This show is This show is Scuba Radio. Hi, this show is what? This show is This show is Scuba Radio.
I don't think there's any truth to the rumor that Eminem is going to perform that song at the halftime show for the Super Bowl. I am Greg the Dive Master. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. But maybe we should start that rumor.
Maybe Weird Al would. I don't know about Eminem.
Well, he's supposedly one of the performers for the halftime show, so maybe he'd play that one if you asked him real nice. Come on, Eminem, play that song for us. Play that Scuba Radio thing. We'll take you diving. No? No.
Go for
Get
it.
us on there.
Excuse me? What is
Can't
it?
you cash in some of those Hollywood connections you have and get us on halftime?
Hollywood connections.
What are you laughing?
What the hell?
You mean my Sharknado?
What are you telling Casey?
Stuff? I mean,
yeah. All those famous people that you partied with out there, I'd call one of them up and just tell them, we'll throw their name on our
famous
show.
people?
Well, there was.
Well,
first of all, they came to me and filmed in my backyard.
They groveled at your feet to perform.
Well, in Sharknado 3, yes,
Maybe
I played.
a stretch.
I played Sweaty Florida Tourist 1, 2, and 3.
He was an extra.
And I was performing.
He was a very
alongside-
low-paid extra.
I was performing alongside some heavy hitters like Jerry Springer, Tara Reid, and
So I think you
Bo
had
Derek
more
was there
airtime.
too. Yeah,
I think you had more airtime than Springer.
I did. Absolutely. So could I pull in a marker and say, hey,
Yeah.
call Eminem, tell him, Bo Derek, come on, Miss 10, give him a call, tell him to play the damn song already, will you? And of course, she won't pick up because my line will have been blocked. But regardless.
Casey, you missed a show a couple weeks ago when Greg got back from California.
Yeah.
They tried to kill him.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's a part of the whole California adventure.
They got a hit out of
it.
That's a new thing. When you travel as a tourist to California, be threatened with murder is just, goes with the territory. That's part of the excitement. The fact that you live to return home one day is a win, right? Nothing. I got nothing from anybody.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Vinny lives out there. He knows. Every moment of the day, Vinny.
More and more dangerous.
Vinny Two Tanks, he's just happy to be alive. He made it through another day.
When you were out in the public, nobody talks to anybody. So what's that tell you?
His only goal in life is I want to be able to go out of my apartment or my house and not get stabbed.
Survivor. He's a survivor.
Exactly. It's kind of like a reality survivor show for sure. All right. Well, okay. So Casey the Tobacco Nuts Super Bowl of dive sites. was several of them around the ABCs of the Antilles. That'd be Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao.
Yes.
And I had not been to Aruba. Have you dove around Aruba? Is it similar to Bonaire and Curacao, Casey, or no?
The fun thing for me was the terrain was so distinct depending on where you were on the island.
Yeah.
And each island is different. Like Aruba, I remember diving what they called the gnome homes, and they were big pinnacle-shaped coral. And then underneath, you'd see all the lobsters and things.
But what, gnome homes, like they're pointy like a gnome hat?
Yeah, it looked like you were swimming over a gnome village.
Just past the dwarf wharf.
Obviously, yes.
But the other
There's
nice
7
thing is
of them, I
a lot
believe.
of the dive sites, you can just load up tanks
Yeah.
and drive around the island. You'll see big painted yellow rocks, and that's an entry point. So you can go in there and get out at the one down current.
Right. Now, so do you find it different, though, Aruba versus, like Curacao, where it's very douchey?
Douchey?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aruba's the...
It's a Dutch thing. You say, how do you feel? I'm douchey.
Dutchy.
No,
Dutchy.
no, douchey.
Okay. Yeah.
He doesn't believe me. He does not believe
I'm trying
me.
to stay out of trouble here, Greg.
No,
Don't look at me. I haven't been there. I'm gonna let you dig this.
No,
one.
they have the T-shirts, the whole thing. Like, you're feeling douchey today, and it's how they describe being happy. It's happy-go-lucky. Dr. Doug will back me up on this, right?
I'll change the subject. The diving in Aruba, the West Coast, kind of the Northwest Coast, is mainly wrecks.
Okay.
And then if you go way south, the diving is more coral, kind of like you'd see in Bonaire or Curacao. Bonaire, we've been to all 3. Bonaire is very nice. We've been there multiple times, and like Casey was saying, in Bonaire, especially, you have the little yellow rocks, so you can get the dive sites. And then Curacao is kind of a nice mix in between. It's kind of got it's got a nice downtown with nice restaurants, similar to what you have in Aruba. Bonaire doesn't have that, but at the same time, the diving is closer to what you'd see in Bonaire than it is what you'd see in Aruba. So Curacao is kind of a nice blend of the two. So
Yes.
they're all 3 great places.
Okay, and you could probably be douchey on all 3. I don't know. I don't know if that's just a Curacao thing, but they got the T-shirts, the whole thing, and everyone say, "Hey, have a douchey day." And then it's kind of odd to us, but that's how they speak. That's how they, how they greet
You're
people.
on your own.
I'm just telling you, it's the truth. Look it up. Google it. It's there. What, Vinny? Go ahead. What?
That's how a squad member should answer your questions, right? You had a perfect answer.
What? That you're feeling douchey today?
No.
I don't even know what he's thinking. Do you?
I was.
Yeah.
He's
saying Dr. Doug had the perfect answer.
Around. He
Yeah.
asked Doug, and he had the right. He gave us the whole story.
Yeah.
Right. He brought a little intelligence into the conversation.
Vinny, what's the deal with the
Gotcha.
pumpkin? The pumpkin's back.
Yeah, the pumpkin's back.
I dug him up for you guys. I still got him.
No,
Dig
you
him out
said
of the
he was.
freezer.
Yeah, he was in. He didn't dig him up.
No, I just
Did you? Yeah, and
No.
did you plant him?
No,
And then-
it's just you said it wouldn't last more than a month or 2, and I've had it for a long. What is it? October, and now
Right.
It's,
Dean, he's had that pumpkin that's on the left side of his picture there since October.
Yes.
And it's
Vinny,
still alive.
Vinny, is
Or
your
still
mom
not
upstairs in
mush.
a rocking chair?
Yeah.
He painted it himself.
And Dean, believe it or not, yes, that is Vinny's original artwork. So
I can
Yeah, so
believe
I'm
that.
proud of it.
I believe that.
yeah,
And
okay,
it's still alive is hard to believe. But
Yeah, well,
I can believe
yeah.
he painted it.
yeah. I mean, it's that is a remarkable piece of art, no doubt about
It's
it.
too evil to
petrified by
die.
now.
It's too evil to die. You're saying it's possessed?
Everybody. All I know is that I thought it looked horrible, and then everybody looked at it and said they liked it. So
Well,
there you go.
Yeah, Harry was born on All Hallows Eve, so that it could be there could be an evil spirit inside that
Well,
gourd.
don't take it to Jerry's house, for God's sake.
Yeah.
We'll ferment it.
Oh golly.
Pumpkin spice moonshine.
All right. Well, what about you, Jerry? You got a Super Bowl of dive sites that you want to share, or no?
Well, I mean, there's many places out there, but everybody's forgetting home. I mean, you got North Carolina shipwrecks, and you got the Keys, and of course Lauderdale.
Well, that narrows it down. So
I have several.
Yeah.
I have several.
Well, you got to
places.
pick one. That's the whole point of picking a Super Bowl of dive sites. What's one that?
Okay, let's try and focus Jerry.
I love
Cold
my
or
wrecks.
hot water, Jerry?
I love my wrecks, so I'll probably go with the wrecks off Moorhead, North Carolina.
Is that where they have the Sand Tigers or
the Sand
no?
Tigers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've done that dive how many times, you figure?
I've done it several.
Yeah.
Too many to count.
Yeah.
But I do love it out there.
That's more than 3.
It is deep water diving, but it is awesome.
You say it's what?
Cold.
It is deep water diving, and it is awesome.
Well, deep in the sense of what, like 80, 90 feet?
You're in the 80s all the way up to 110, 20.
Yeah. So you're pushing the limits just a little
Yeah.
bit there. But that's where you go out to the wrecks and dive around with the Sand Tigers.
It's not often you get to go out and dive on a German U-boat.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I mean,
That's
it's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now I want to go.
But there's no penetration.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm not going.
Jeez.
There,
guys are terrible.
there is some, but I mean, it's not much. It's too deep for me to penetrate.
Well, I mean, for that U-boat, you couldn't even get in it if you wanted it, could you? No. So you just see a big long tube kind of thing when you go dive that, but the Sand Tigers congregate around it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's tigers everywhere down there. I mean, it's nice.
Is that where you do the megalodon? Is that where you get the megalodon teeth too?
Well, that's in the river, isn't it?
Well, you can do Wrightsville Beach, just south of Wrightsville, just south of Moorhead City.
All right.
But is that the mouth of the river though, or no?
No, this is the Megalodon Ledge. It's about 40 miles off of Wrightsville Beach.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. They have a site there similar to what we have in Venice Beach in Florida, right? You can go offshore.
Clearwater. That's where I borrowed your scuba jet back in May.
That's right. I remember
blow off
now.
The sand from the
Use it as a sand blower. That's right, to find the shark teeth. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
Scuba Radio.
Would you like to talk diving? Greg the Dive Master's all toweled down and ready to take your call now. Call Scuba Radio at 1-888-88-SCUBA.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving, flying, and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving, flying, and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why I wanted to tell you about Nanook Professional Protective Cases. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook cases generally cost less than similar products currently on the market. From an iPhone to a full set of dive gear, whatever you need to shield from the elements, Nanook Professional Protective Cases has the size, shape, and color for you. Go to nanook.com. That's NANUK.com for Nanook Professional Protective Cases. The evolution of protection.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new ScubaRadio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 ScubaRadio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New ScubaRadio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
When I was a kid, I got hooked on watching nonfiction television in the guise of the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau was huge.
I watched, they were on about once a month, and it wasn't just the ocean. He would go into, like, lakes and stuff. I remember once he went into Lake Titicaca in South America, and they took the submarines, and he said, we took the submersibles to the bottom of Lake Titicaca. Much to our surprise, we found nothing but titties and caca. That's the joke we said the next day in junior high.
Let's get underwater, don't you worry, 'cause everything's gonna be fine.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. Vinny Two Tanks, Jerry the Diver Guy, and Casey the Tobacco Nut make up the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad. And they are connected via the web. We also have Dr. Doug Ebersole, and from diveventures.com, Dean Hollis helping us out today. So we've been talking about the Super Bowl of dive sites because it's very timely. But what about the most romantic dive? You know, I mean, Valentine's Day is Monday, so maybe we should cover that base as well. And, you know, Barry's not here today, but in spirit he is.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
So let's find out. I think that was a little shout out to his better half, Jerry.
What? You're killing me, Greg. You're killing me.
Come on. Love is in the air. It's Valentine's Day.
Greg thinks he's Cupid.
Well, I'm a matchmaker. I am kind of.
He's wearing a diaper, so.
Yeah. Anyway. It depends. So, Jerry, the deal is if you were wanting to take, you know, the dive buddy of your choice to a romantic dive, do you have a place that you would go? Do you have a dive site that you would share for Valentine's Day that might give a listener an idea to do something special on Monday? What do you think, Jerry? Come on, you're a romantic kind of guy. That's what Barry tells me.
Bahamas or Dominica?
Bahamas or Dominica? Why?
Yep. Well, it's two places I like.
Okay, you just think they would be romantic?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. You mean like the waterfalls in Dominica? You mean that on the topside sub? Okay. Yeah, that would.
Good answer. Good answer.
All right. Good. Yeah, under pressure he comes through. All right. So, Vinny, if you were taking Harry out on a special night on the town that included diving, where would you take Harry for Valentine's Day?
How about Costa Rica?
Overpass does not count.
Excuse me?
How about Costa Rica?
Costa Rica. Costa Rica. Why? Why
Because it's a long trip, and you got a lot of time to spend together, and when you go diving, you got to cross down to the. It's
okay.
It's a beautiful.
The longer trip, the more time there is to spend together.
Right. And it's a tropical destination. It's pretty famous.
We're talking about a pumpkin here, by the way, just so we're clear.
Me and my pumpkin. Gonna do some dunking.
I thought he was going to take him to the overpass.
No,
I thought it was with a pumpkin. Oh, that's a whole different story.
He looks down at his pumpkin longingly and he says,
What?
You ever see the planes come in?
Huh. Well, you know, it's all about making memories and whatever works for you.
Well,
you know,
I'm done now.
No, that's okay. I appreciate you sharing.
That could be the making of another movie.
Casey, what say you?
I've still got this
He's
pumpkin
speechless.
picture in
Yes,
my head.
exactly, as most people are. I'm sure.
It.
If
But
you're
in
going to
all
go on
honesty,
a,
Vinny, he led you down that path. So.
Well, no, I set him up, and you guys knock him down.
I'm thinking if I have to do a Valentine thing, I still owe my wife a trip to Hawaii. So.
Okay, but what about from a diving perspective, and maybe instead of a wetsuit, you
diving, Greg.
Well, how about you just cover your body in chocolate syrup and let it harden?
Okay, how about this? We go to Hawaii where the water's really warm, and then I don't have to wear anything to go diving.
Well, no, cover yourself in chocolate, please.
Too much. Too much.
No, thanks. Greg, why don't you do the chocolate thing since it's your idea? You do that and let me know how it works out.
Yeah, well, like that, you take the soft serve ice cream and dip it in the chocolate and it turns hard, and you use that as your wetsuit.
Whatever it takes, my friend.
Start licking.
And then after you put the marshmallows on, could you get back to us after you
marshmallows? There's no marshmallows. What's he talking about?
notice, Dean, who keeps stoking the fire. He tells us to be good.
There's no fire. We are here as a public service to make divers more, romantic for Valentine's Day and to have fodder to talk, football stuff when they really want to talk diving stuff.
How
dive sites.
about Key West for the sunset?
That would be good. Yeah, you mean as far as a romantic?
Yeah.
Well, you still have Dr. Doug and Dean to go to,
Well, okay, I'll
maybe they'll pull us back from the edge.
Well, I've been holding back because I wanted to spare them, but I'll go ahead and give them the floor if they like it. Dr. Doug, what say you? What do you think?
I'd have to go with, for our 20th anniversary, we actually went to Bora Bora, and that was a very romantic place to go that's got very, very good diving.
Yeah.
Not to mention black pearls and stuff, which make for nice gifts. So I'd have to go with French Polynesian Bora Bora.
Now, see, he set the bar so high. There's no way.
Over the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I hear those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Dean, do you care to chime in, or would you rather just sit back and not say a word?
Oh, no, I have to chime in. I would say, and again, we went there together, not romantically, but.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're not judging, but go ahead.
Yeah, we went to, I'd have to pick St. Lucian. I'd pick Fairland.
Yeah, that's my second choice. On Chastenay and St. Lucian.
Yeah. But I would upgrade, and I would go to Jade Mountain. I mean, you got to go. You got to go to Jade Mountain, and you got to do
Jade Mountain is the resort farther up the mountain, and it's just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. The views are beautiful.
Where's Jade Mountain?
Well,
it's at St. Lucia.
Well, if you strike up a conversation, maybe it'll take you, Vinny. Use your words wisely. No, I have not. It's on my list.
Oh, yeah, I'd like.
Are you asking me to go with you?
Go with us in July, Greg.
Yeah, well,
go to Inventors.com. You can book a trip to St. Lucia.
There you go. Simple as that. All right, we'll wrap it up with that for this week. Till next time, remember it's always better. Where, gang? Where? That's right. Better. Safe diving, everyone.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen. Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.